The state has ordered the owner of an armed rideshare company to immediately stop what he's doing following a Fox 5 I-Team investigation that raised questions about his Georgia security guard license.
Kerry KingBrown operates Black Wolf, a service that provides armed drivers through an app on a customer's phone. And Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis says KingBrown also happens to help provide security for a well-known Georgia congresswoman. Randy?
That's right, Courtney Russ. In the weeks after we originally exposed KingBrown's unlicensed security business, we saw him again in a place we did not expect. God bless. Surrender Day outside the Fulton County Jail.
We want Trump! We want Trump!
Amid the dueling parties and protests at Donald Trump's surrender in August, Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene suddenly appeared, holding court with a swarm of reporters. By her side, an unlicensed security guard already under investigation for breaking Georgia law. You're saying it's not a security company, but just because you say it doesn't make it true.
But it is true.
A few months earlier, the Fox 5 I-Team talked with Kerry KingBrown after his Black Wolf app idea had taken the nation's cable news media by storm.
Being shot, who are getting robbed, who are getting raped? The general public.
KingBrown said his new rideshare company provides armed drivers to protect worried riders from the dangers of the world. Just $65 plus mileage, plus how long it takes for the trek.
I don't want people to focus on the word armed. I want them to focus on the security and safety that this app will bring.
But we checked the records. KingBrown has never had a Georgia license to run a security company. And when word got out in June, he quickly lost his individual security guard license too.
I don't see what am I doing incorrectly.
KingBrown told us back then he considered Black Wolf a rideshare company, so it shouldn't need a security guard license. You're a security company, right?
Well, no, I'm not a security company.
You're offering security services.
Yes, sir. In the form of security services, yes, sir.
Got that?
Kerry KingBrown has engaged in private security business without holding a license with the board to do so.
It's clear to the Georgia Attorney General's office they asked an administrative judge to order KingBrown to stop, especially since the state can't make sure his armed employees really know what they're doing.
A private security company operating without a license poses an extreme risk to the public.
KingBrown did not show up for the hearing. The judge agreed there was, quote, overwhelming evidence Black Wolf was a security company and issued a cease and desist order. That was more than 2 weeks ago. Is Black Wolf still in the business of providing armed drivers? Well, we downloaded the Black Wolf app and then clicked on Armed Executive Protection Driver to see for ourselves. Sure enough.
You're with Black Wolf? Yes, sir. Okay, and you're armed, you're my armed ride?
Armed and unlicensed to even be a security guard in the state of Georgia. We ran the driver's name through the state database. We're doing a story about Black Wolf. The state says that they're not supposed to be providing armed drivers. It's against the law, but here you are. So what kind of training have you received to do this?
I have no comment.
He said he was a retired officer and licensed to carry a weapon. But the state says that's not enough to provide armed security. Black Wolf has been told by a judge you can't do that.
When was this?
2 weeks ago.
Okay. I have no knowledge of any litigation or court orders.
Armed protection, even the unlicensed kind, ain't cheap. From Briarcliff Road to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, $126. The company gave us a discount since we didn't actually take the ride. KingBrown faces a $500 fine for each day he continues to operate. He did not respond to our request for comment.
And they gave me a statistics I could not believe.
Neither did Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, even to let us know whether she realized one of the people hired to protect her is not licensed to do so in the state she represents. Now, it's not like KingBrown didn't try to get his company licensed, but according to the cease and desist order, he failed written exams 9 times, the last one in March of this year. 2 months later, he began doing national interviews about Black Wolf.
Well, he seems not to understand what he's doing wrong here, which may help explain why he failed the test. But are any laws being broken in the process?
Yeah, I mean, you're guilty of a misdemeanor, according to the state, if you practice private security without a state license. It's rarely charged, though, Russ. It really is.
most painful punishment would be fines, right? $500 a day. That's what he faces right now. It'd be interesting to see if the judge does issue those fines.
Right.
But think about it. I mean, he's charging $126 to go, what was it, 8 miles from out here to Mercedes-Benz?
I can't believe there's huge demand for that.
Well, when we clicked on the button, we got a different driver the first time. So there's at least 2 drivers out there doing this. And that driver came pretty fast.
Yeah, well, it seems clear that there might be some kind of a market for this, but it certainly needs to be above board if you're going to be in business.
You got to follow the rules. You got to make sure that the people who are carrying these guns, driving you around, know what they're doing. And the state says there's no way to confirm that unless they're properly licensed.
All right. I know you'll keep us updated on this. Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
You bet.